Welcome you back to Black Site. Tonight, we're going to talk about a forbidden issue that people don't like to talk about. In Chicago, 104 people were shot over the weekend. 14 fatally, 5 children, our babies. The youngest was a 3-year-old in the back seat of his father's car on Father's Day. I would like to ask every one of you who happen to be my subscribers, where's the protest? Where's Black Lives Matter? Where are all the activists who have been taken to the streets for the last 2 weeks talking about Black Lives Matter? Where is the media personality? Where is Hollywood? Where is our so-called sports heroes to speak on this issue? We had one black man who died at the hands of a police officer. Yes, that was wrong what happened to George Floyd, but it seems like our community recognized death when it's given to us by a so-called white man or white woman. But when it's black on black crime, it's just another day in the neighborhood. People just turn their heads and keep walking. And nobody stands up for that 3-year-old like so many stand up for George Floyd. Because that 3-year-old doesn't give them an opportunity to raise money, doesn't give them the opportunity to get that shine on television. That 3-year-old had a future, just like George Floyd. That 3-year-old had a brighter future. But his name will never be remembered, only by his family members. And so many of them who died in the streets in Chicago and across America are forgotten because we did it to ourselves. We had 5 of our babies fatally shot, and nobody's protesting downtown. You saw a dozen people protesting. You saw Father Flager, a brother named Tino Hartman, an activist. But you didn't see the same people that you saw out there for days on end protesting against the death of George Floyd. And many of you gonna say, well, you got those white supremacist talking points, those Fox News talking points. But the truth is the truth. If we don't value life, how in the hell you expect another group to value life of our community more than we value our own? And to see our people laying in the streets like it's a war zone. Do you know what it's like? Can you imagine 100 people shot in a weekend? Can you imagine how the hospitals in Chicago must look like they were battling in Fallujah in Iraq or Afghanistan? The death that permeated that hospital, the families that had to see their loved ones suffer. And many of people didn't even hear about what happened May 31st. And you may be hearing this for the first time, that 27 people in Chicago was killed in one day. But we had the George Floyd incident, and nobody ever talked about what happened. This has to stop. There has to be a movement around this country to where we stop killing each other. We can talk about George Floyd all day, and the police can go away. You can defund the police. You can dismantle the police department. And if police brutality stops and police murders of our community stop, will we stop killing each other? Will we stop killing our 3-year-old babies? Will we learn to love each other like other communities in this country? And I know many of you out there gonna talk about white on white violence, other groups having their own violence, but nothing that I have seen as violent as I have ever seen over the last month in Chicago. Many of you could call me a coon, a sellout, but I'm going to talk about what's going on in our community and how it's affecting our community, because this is affecting our future. See, if you truly think there is white supremacy out there and people truly trying to harm our community, they can care less if we complain about one person in George Floyd. But we killing each other at a level that is unprecedented. And yes, you could talk about all the conditions that were set up by this country that put us in a position to commit crimes against each other. But we are supposed to be enlightened today after the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks. But it seems like we are not. We happen to be going to that same abyss that our community has been going through for the past 50 years. We're taking each other's life. It's an everyday thing in America. If this happened in the white community, the Asian community, Jewish community, this would be world news. But it's our community. And you don't see thousands rise up, hundreds of thousands rise up today. You didn't see any signs. You didn't see Black Lives Matter standing up with Brother Hartman and Father Flager. This should be a revolution in America, not just about police, but about ourselves doing better with each other. This is not normal. And it shouldn't be normal in our community. And it shouldn't be normal that we pretend it's not going on, that we shouldn't talk about it because our enemies use it against us. We should use this opportunity in this point in history to clean up our act with each other. Now I know many of people out there are going to unsubscribe to my channel. They're going to be mad at me for venturing into these deep waters. But this has to be said. We got to take a damn good look at ourselves. Because this just wasn't happening in Chicago, Minneapolis, Baltimore, Atlanta, New York City. This type of criminal activity towards each other is getting worse, not better. We have to change our behavior if we're going to be the people that we truly want to be. Things that you can change, you can change yourself. And that's one thing we can change, is how we treat each other. And you don't need money to do that. You just need a kind, loving heart towards your brother. I want to thank you for listening to The Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.